Now this car we have enjoyed watching at Le Mans, the 919 hybrid, Neil Jani at the wheel of it, the man that won Le Mans in 2016, 1140 brake horsepower, and now that it's all gloves off, it's not constrained by championship regulations, it's doing something like 53% more downforce than it had when it was in the World Endurance Championship. And this is the car, Martin, that now has the lap record around the Nürburgring Nordschleife, and you are watching, everybody, an amazing bang up-to-date piece of sports car history.
In fact, you know, all the older Porsche racing cars that we're seeing here are as they raced. This one is as it could have raced, were there no rules, no restrictors on power, no restrictions on movable body parts and flexible aerodynamics. And the Porsche team that ran these cars in the World Endurance Championship have basically been given free rein to develop it in any and every direction they see fit. So they've taken out weight, things like lights that they need have all gone. Very unusual livery with the stripes. We've just seen one Martini Porsche, we're now seeing another one. This is 935K3. The Moby Dick long tail in the iconic white with Martini stripes. Just going past us, a Rothmans liveried 959 exiting Moulcombe and heading up the hill. So that'll be following through behind the long tail Kramer bodied version of the 935.
With John Fitzpatrick at the wheel of it. It's a Jochen Mass car from period, but Fitz, who has a Porsche connection anyway, of course, by having run 956s, 962s, the J. David colours, amongst others. John Fitz. Not just to build cars, a bit like now as you look at the Le Mans winning car from this year in its class, Kevin Estre on the wheel of it, but Porsche had a factory team, yes, but also sold them to the customers, and the customer could beat them, and that was good for sales.
Porsche customer racing, absolutely. Every time Reinhold Jost or Walterbrunn or the Obermeyer Porsches beat the factory cars, then that was good for sales, and if you beat the factory cars now, you know you're doing a good job. This is the car that won at Le Mans a month ago. Kevin Estre, Lawrence Van here on driving duties. Michael Christensen, the third driver from the car, is actually racing this weekend, so couldn't be here.
And Kevin Estre, a real star. He came out of Porsche, won mate racing, went to McLaren, came back again. And he's been grinning from ear to ear as well this weekend. He gets Goodwood and he's been loving it behind the wheel of the car.
And Lawrence Van loving the livery so much, he's got a cycling suit already made up in it. And there was somebody the day after the race, or 2 days after the race, posted a picture of a road racing bike in pink pick livery. Great looking car, isn't it? And Carlo Arbart, a real genius with small engine cars. Back to Le Mans, and again, overall victory in 1998. This car driven by Charlie Eastwood, who races Porsches currently in the British Carrera Cup Championship.
Aston Martin.
Aston Martin, indeed, yes it does, in the British GTs.
Reigning Carrera Cup GB champion, in fairness.
There you go. And so, this car driven by Alan Manish to victory back in 1998. Its arch rival is here, the car that won the championship in the FIA GT Series that year, driven by Klaus Ludwig and Ricardo Sonntag.
It is the ultimate porker, isn't it?
Hey.
Here you have you had Rothman's Porsche livery, and you had also the pink pig. So it was 20 Rothmans and a bag of pork scratchings, wasn't it, at Le Mans this year? This is the Rally Raid Porsche 911 SC. Do not adjust your set. It is meant to be that high for the clearance of off-roading and for the dunes.
Yeah, one in the Dakar, driven by René Metz.
Now, here's the 961 of Günther Stekenig. This is the race version, effectively, of that 959. Bit more aero, rather squared off rear bodywork, and wasn't really the greatest of cars. It ran in the GTP category, didn't it? Yeah. But it didn't really have the pace to run at the front, and it had a rather fiery end to Le Mans. Yeah, what they really needed was one of the wettest Le Mans on record, and they didn't get it. Then the front four-wheel drive would have really been a big bonus. But in the dry at Le Mans, you know, where everything is predominantly in a straight line, certainly. And this might be the last car that goes up the hill, in which case it is the perfect way to end this Porsche batch, the Armin Burger-driven 356-001. And as Martin Haven rightly said, it's wind in your hair motoring, and this is what started it all. And what a day, and what weather to be driving around in an open-top Porsche. Whatever vintage it is, the feeling is still the same. Absolutely so. Still with that organ stop accelerator pedal, still light and nimble, and beautiful sunny afternoon here in the South Downs. It's a great looking image. And actually, you look at it, you just look at the way it almost looks like it's floating along, because the wheels are so tiny inside the arches. Yeah. But all of the styling cues are there that you still see on every modern Porsche. I mean, for a car that is 70 years old, it is remarkably streamlined, isn't it? And for its time, it perhaps looked rather quirky, but there it is, the car making its way towards the finish. And as Porsche 356-001 heads to the end of the climb, let's catch up with Bruce Jones. It's a little, you can actually see shades of the 911 in it. And here is, again, one of the most evocative liveries ever seen on a racing car, so much so that Porsche replicated it on one of this year's GTE cars. Which is here. Yeah, which is here as well. That's not the only Rothmans Porsche liveried car here. There's two or three of them. We'll see the Richard Lloyd racing car a little bit later on. This driven in period by Derek Bell and Hans Stuck, two great teammates, two very good friends, both of whom again are here this weekend. And Derek drove this up the hill yesterday afternoon. It's not him at the wheel at the moment. I don't know who is driving it this time, in fairness, but it kind of doesn't matter, because it's just the car that you can recreate all those memories from. Porsche being the first manufacturer, really, to come into Group C racing when the FIA introduced it, but not the first company to win a Group C race. They were beaten to that by Rondo at Monza. Porsche came out at Silverstone. He just missed the opening race as they were crafting it, but Porsche had the sense, Martin, didn't it? Not